welcome to this very special show. Well, ये शो स्पेशल दो कारणों से है. एक, आज हम ऐसे मेहमान के साथ बात करेंगे जो बहुत ही रेयर इंटरव्यूज देते हैं. So of course that makes it even more exciting that we are getting to speak to him in person. And the second bit which I just said, in person, that's right. Personally, मुझे कोविड के पीरियड में जो चीज़ मैंने सबसे ज़्यादा मिस की वो ये थी कि we could not do too many on location, face to face interviews. But today, thankfully, as Omicron is looking like it's going, fingers crossed, we are here at India's number 2 IT company and really promising and raring to go, Infosys. And with me to discuss really about how the journey has been at Infosys and where it's likely to go, I have with me the man, the top boss at Infosys, Salil Parekh. Salil, good to have you on the show. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका हमें समय देने के लिए. It's really a pleasure and I'm feeling so happy that we are finally doing this at your campus.
No, first धन्यवाद आपको and thank you for having me on your show. ये actually एक privilege है मेरे लिए. कोविड के बाद ये पहला जो है सेशन हो रहा है इन्फोसिस की तरफ से जो इन पर्सन हो रहा है और जो आप कैंपस पे आए तो बहुत अच्छा लगा.
थैंक यू एंड आई एम श्योर हमारा ये सिलसिला चलेगा आगे भी, हम
बिल्कुल
आते रहेंगे. तो सबसे पहले यू नो आई हैव टू कंग्रेचुलेट यू सलील. 4 साल और बहुत ही चैलेंजिंग शुरुआत थी और आज हम इन्फोसिस को जहाँ देख रहे हैं, I mean, it's really something that not many had expected, very frankly. 4 साल की जर्नी आप हमें बताइए. Exactly when you came in, obviously it was a set of lot of multiple challenges that you had to deal with, but today it seems all good. कैसे किया?
नहीं, so thank you. ये इसमें क्या है कि Infosys always एक preeminent company है. So for years it's always been a top level company. और जो हमने जॉइंटली जो चीज़ की है पूरी टीम के साथ, उसमें फोकस रहा था व्हाट डू क्लाइंट्स लुक फॉर, यानी क्लाइंट्स की क्या ज़रूरत है. एंड ओवर द लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स क्लाइंट्स आर मेनली लुकिंग फॉर डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. एंड डिजिटल की बात मैं 2-3 पॉइंट से आपको शेयर करता हूँ. पर उसके बाद वी पुट इन प्लेस अ ट्रिमेंडस फोकस ऑन बिल्डिंग ऑल द कैपेबिलिटीज़. जो अगर आप कहिए क्लाउड में या डेटा एंड एनालिटिक्स में या साइबर सिक्योरिटी में या आईओटी में. सो वी बिल्ट ट्रिमेंडस कैपेबिलिटीज़ इन दिस. इनफैक्ट इस कैंपस पे हमने एक डिजिटल स्टूडियो बनाया है एंड देयर वी कैन डिज़ाइन थिंग्स फॉर द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी जो नॉर्मली आईटी की चीज़ नहीं होती है, मतलब डिज़ाइन की चीज़ हो जाती है. सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट बिग मूव दैट वी पुट इन प्लेस कि डिजिटल बना दीजिए. टुडे कंपनी ऑलमोस्ट 58% डिजिटल हो चुकी है.
आई नो FY18 में वो 25% होती.
बिल्कुल 25 थी तो 58 तक आ गई है. ग्रोथ डिजिटल का 40% के ऊपर आ गया है. सो दोज आर गुड थिंग्स वी आर सीइंग. सेकंड फोकस वी पुट इज जो पीपल है हमारे, जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, उनको कैसे हम रीस्किल करें. द मेन इशू इज़ ये टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी फास्ट चेंज हो रही है
Correct.
कि एवरीवन नीड्स टू रीस्किल कॉन्स्टेंटली. सो उस चीज़ के लिए हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया है जो इंटरनली वी कॉल इट लेक्स. लेक्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे आपके मोबाइल फ़ोन पे वो प्लेटफॉर्म रेडी है. सो अगर मुझे समझिए कोबॉल से कोई क्लाउड चीज़ सीखनी है, I can learn it on my mobile.
Oh, it's for
all our employees. So all 280,000 we have it on our mobile, and we can take, let's say, 3 weeks or 4 weeks to learn that and then get certified. So उसमें क्या हो रहा है, everyone is jumping in and on their own saying यार मुझे ये सीखना है, वो सीखना है, and they're becoming more digital ready. This was also built on, we always had at Infosys a very good training campus जो हमारा मैसूर में है, and we have the 3-month, 4-month program when we take college graduates. So those always continued. Of course COVID में हमने उसको different करवा दिया था, सब work from home था. But that big reskilling was a huge
Absolutely,
plus that we put in place.
I think reskilling is a need of the hour.
The third thing we've done is ये automation करवा दिया. मतलब you go to a large client, उनकी बड़ी IT की platform landscape रहता है, उसमें हम कैसे चीज़ more and more efficient बना दें. So the more, and we have automation में artificial intelligence use करते हैं, machine learning use करते हैं, and our own tool set that we have built for automation. सो उस चीज़ से क्या होता है, उनकी कॉस्ट कम हो जाती है, ऑटोमेट करते हैं. दे कैन यूज़ दैट टू देन बिल्ड डिजिटल. सो फर्स्ट डिजिटल, रीस्किल, ऑटोमेट, एंड देन रियली द फाउंडेशन ऑफ ऑल ऑफ दिस इज ये कॉन्सेप्ट जो हमने बनाया है, वन इन्फोसिस. मतलब everyone is working for the benefit of the client. So इसमें क्या हो जाता है, बड़ी कंपनी में there are many different groups and divisions which are doing very good work, but to bring it all together is the real
It's a
key.
task, yes.
And जो ऐसे हमने करवा दिया है कि सबको साथ में, we have regular sessions, even in COVID we have a lot of Zoom sessions, daily calls, bringing people together. In between,
I think fundamental set किया है आपने.
बिल्कुल.
The need of the hour, I think, जो आपने बताई 4 बातें जो आपने की हैं इस पूरे दौरान, fundamentals are in place now. Are you saying they are now like all fixed? The worst is behind you?
The worst is definitely behind us. There's always, we are looking at improvement.
Sure.
But इसमें क्या हो गया है, we gave a guidance just now 19.5 to 20%. Our growth in Q3 was 7% in the quarter, 21% for the year. So things are looking in good shape for us, fortunately. We are now always looking what else can we do in the future, and for us the future is looking very optimistic.
Okay, future is looking optimistic. I get that. But जो आपने इतने अच्छे से समझाया, जो आपने चीज़ें लाई, I'm sure it was not easy to execute. I think that you have been very modest to just make it seem like ये तो केक वॉक था, बट आई एम श्योर सेट ऑफ चैलेंजेस रहे होंगे. आगे एज वी गो विद द काइंड ऑफ लर्निंग्स दैट यू हैड थ्रू दिस जर्नी, knowing that you have yourself contributed almost 5 lakh crore worth of market cap, और आज again to congratulate you, $100 billion company हुई है, 4th Indian company which has crossed that mark under your guidance. So मैं जानना चाहती हूँ आपकी जर्नी में आपके चैलेंजेस क्या रहे, कहाँ पर दिक्कतें दिखी, और क्या वो कुछ ऐसे पॉकेट्स हैं जो अभी भी where there could be some concerns and you are working on them?
So बिल्कुल, इसमें चीज़ क्या थी कि the fundamental build-up जो ये कंपनी बनाई गई थी by the founders is very solid. So yes, of course, उसमें there's always challenges when you look at things, when you look at a situation, but overwhelmingly जो positive चीज़ थी ज़्यादा ही ज़्यादा थी. And what benefited us was यहाँ पे हमारे board, the founders, chairman, उनकी सब alignment थी. मतलब when we put the strategy in place कि हमें digital company बननी है, everyone came together. Now of course we saw that over the time we had to work harder to work with our clients, because many things had happened over the past years where we had to go a little bit faster to catch up. But those things didn't come in the way. If you look at our leadership team, this is a leadership team that is really working well together today to make sure.
Showing.
And numbers are showing. Also the people, when you meet, say you meet some of the top 30, 40 leaders, there's this sort of camaraderie जो है, even through COVID we could see that. So my view is, yes, there are many things we are working on for the future, and of course there were challenges, but the overwhelming foundation was very strong, and that really helps, and the alignment जो strategy की, board की, the leadership की, that helped us.
I think ये बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा, और वो दिख रहा है हमें जिस तरह से अब इन्फोसिस एक जिस स्ट्रेंथ में दिख रही है, जिस बोल्डनेस से आगे है, it's out there for everyone to see that everyone is aligned. ये बात आपने एकदम सही कही. One Infosys की philosophy is really working out for the company at this point. But अगर हम बात करते हैं, आप इतने confident हैं, optimistic हैं, ये optimism कहाँ से सबसे पहले आ रहा है? What are your growth drivers, so to say, going ahead? कहाँ पर आपको opportunity दिखती है? Business and operations wise, where do you think you can really make a difference?
So here what has happened, the focus as we look ahead now is more and more on specialized areas even within digital. So आपको example दूँ, we are doing a lot of work on the cloud. Now cloud में क्या हुआ है, we have built a set of capabilities called Cobalt जो हमने market में release कर दी. We were the first company in our peer group to have built something like Cobalt. Now Cobalt में क्या हो रहा है? We've got 300 industry templates. We've got 30,000 objects. So अगर आप cloud use करना चाहती है आपकी कंपनी के लिए, you can come to Infosys and say, look, हमें मदद कीजिए. We can use Cobalt, you can go faster because things are ready, or your risk is reduced because things are being tested before. So this makes a huge difference in the market. और cloud में क्या हो रहा है? We are working on public cloud, we are working on private cloud, we are working on SaaS, we are working on cloud native. So we have a fully comprehensive area. So अगर digital हमारी 40% grow कर रही है, cloud is growing even faster, which we are not publicly giving at this stage number, but that is what is giving us the growth today. So अगर आप देखें next in April when we go to the after the end of the year, we will give some views of the next year. But what we can see, the budgets are in good shape with clients और ये cloud की traction अच्छी चल रही है. So we feel quite positive कि अगर हम ये करते जाएं तो then this will remain quite a good story for us.
And absolutely, I think आपको first mover advantage भी है
बिल्कुल,
वहाँ पर.
because we were the first people who put that in place.
And I think वो बहुत help कर रहा है in your over a period of time that you mentioned. But cloud की आपने बात की और आपने कहा कि digital transformation was the biggest turning point, so to say, for the company. एक सवाल जो हमेशा लोग पूछते हैं वो ये कि yes, you are doing well. Yes, there are so many other companies now coming, mid IT companies. Look at how they are all growing. Massive opportunity for all of us to see. But does it also mean कि आपका कुछ market share वो ले सकते हैं, कुछ आपके clients वहाँ चले जाएंगे? I know पाई बढ़ रहा है, but वो कितना बड़ा concern है for a very big size IT company like yours?
So what is happening there is, in fact, आपकी point बिल्कुल valid है. We have now taken market share from others. So क्या हो रहा है इसमें? If you take our growth at 19.5%, अगर the guidance 19.5 to 20 for the year, this is well ahead of where the industry average growth is. So there are many people, because it's a global industry, who are losing market share.
Correct.
And today we are gaining market share from them. Now what is happening, अगर आप देखें example, about 3-4 weeks ago एक बात चल रही थी client से, where they are working with another large provider.
Okay.
Very well known company, पर क्या हुआ उनका COVID में for whatever reason उनकी delivery अच्छी नहीं हुई. So उनके CIO मुझे कह रहे हैं कि look, ये चीज़ है 2400 लोग आपके पास हमें शिफ्ट करने हैं एक ही शॉट में और हमने कुछ किया भी मतलब इट्स नॉट लाइक वी वेंट एंड सेड हमें दे दीजिए वगैरह वी आर वेरी कीन टू डू इट बट व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज वी आर गेनिंग दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ मार्केट शेयर टुडे नाउ ये हमारी जो ग्रोथ हो रही है वी आर वेरी फोकस्ड ऑन लार्ज ग्लोबल कंपनी जो कहते हैं ग्लोबल 2000 वी वर्क ऑलमोस्ट एक्सक्लूसिवली विद देम उस डोमेन में we believe there is no one growing faster than us. Yes, there are other places because अगर आप जाएं, today we are not doing so much medium company वगैरह. There are other people who are working there. उसमें demand आ सकती है.
But your focus is
global 2000. मतलब उसमें क्या है? Their need remains steady for years. So what we are doing is making sure we support them through that need for technology. The different parts of the market कभी high हो जाती है कभी low हो जाती है उसमें. This remains very strong and that's also what Infosys was built on. So one of the things we've done is made sure we've kept all the things that were good about it and then added some more things. So उसमें ये relationship जो हो रही है we're further cementing those relationships.
Okay, large deals. I think that's a very important point. But उसके साथ एक और जो concern हमेशा आती है वो ये कि margins. प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पर जो आप कैसे मेंटेन करेंगे बेटर करेंगे बिकॉज यू नो ये मार्केट एक्सट्रीमली कम्पिटिटिव है.
So there again you've seen last quarter we had margins of 23.5.
Yes.
Our guidance band has remained steady at 22 to 24% margin.
Yes.
We have constantly focused on that because when you have such a large delivery engine there are many levers that we can use which can give us some benefits. There are some areas which are coming against the margin because last year we've done for our employees significant compensation increases. Of course there are other areas which come into play when you look at what sort of investments we made. But then again, there are areas where we are today seeing ये जो digital work चल रहा है, clients are looking at that as giving them more value. So we think over time we will be able to convert that into more for Infosys. So that will be a positive for us. We think over time we will be able to be more efficient in delivery. We think automation आ जाएगा ज़्यादा ही ज़्यादा. So there are some areas which can give us margin support, other areas which will help in making sure that the overall company is working well. But we are very comfortable today to stay in this 22 to 24%.
Okay, so the band that you have identified, you think वो आप maintain कर पाएंगे?
बिल्कुल.
Over a period of time ये better हो सकता है, as you said.
Absolutely. There are pluses and minuses, so forces on both sides.
But you're happy with that 24%.
And today we are happy with where we are on it, and we will continue to manage that.
Okay, sure. Strategy 2025, as we know, transformation is in place. आपने बहुत सारी बातें की, उसके results दिखने लगे. 4 साल आपने बता दिए हैं इस कंपनी में already. Results है हमारे सामने, but when you talk about 2025, the goals still have to be achieved of what you've set out. कहाँ पर हैं अभी हम उस journey में और कितना समय लगेगा? Do you think with the way you're growing pleasantly, क्या आप पहले achieve कर लेंगे target?
So what has happened, what we've achieved now, we've gone a little bit faster than
Yes.
what we'd originally anticipated.
That's what I thought.
But looking ahead, now we are just setting to this quarter the plans for the next 5 years. तो हम set करवा देंगे, we are discussing with the board, with our leadership, and then we will internally roll that out over the next 6-9 months कि क्या करना है. It's very clear for us, we want to remain close to our clients. उसमें क्या होना है, the portfolio has to constantly shift. So clients की need आज cloud है या digital है, कल कुछ और हो सकती है. Artificial intelligence बढ़ सकता है, quantum आ जाए, we can do more and more things on IoT. So we don't know which could be those areas which will keep on coming.
But you keep your ears on the ground.
That's the point. So उसमें our plan is to make sure that a portfolio keeps shifting. Like we've got this almost 58% digital, we will keep shifting to what our clients are looking for. And if we do that well and execute it, then we will remain at the forefront of growth. So the idea really is market share जो हमारा है वो बढ़ते जाए, meaning our growth is ahead of where the market is, and that we believe is the goal. It's not like ये इतने साल बाद ये number है. It's more that this portfolio shift should happen and we should keep growing at a faster pace.
Okay, fair enough. And I think ये बहुत ही अच्छी strategy है, knowing that आपके customer को क्या चाहिए, and when they need what you give what they need, then I think
then it comes back, that resonates with them.
Resonates, of course. आपने large deals की बात की, but अभी deal pipeline and geography wise, what is looking most promising for you? आप जो trends देख रहे हैं आज, of course, as we are increasingly becoming global, I think जो need यहाँ है वो किसी और part of the world में भी है. But फिर भी आपके important verticals and geographies आपके हिसाब से बहुत promising क्या होंगे और उसमें Infosys का क्या role and focus होगा?
So there again, last quarter we saw Europe was growing faster for us than US. Both were over 20%, but Europe was faster. We saw manufacturing growing very well. As we look ahead, उसमें financial services is the core of the company. That will continue to do well. So we have very good presence, whether it's on retail banking, insurance business, capital markets, and those are all growing well. We see tremendous growth in Europe, in Germany. We will again grow very well in UK. So those have good outlook for us. We see good traction on life sciences, which is the pharmaceutical business. We see very good traction on high tech. उसमें अच्छा लग रहा है outlook. So
margins भी वहाँ बेहतर है.
Margins are very strong. Very good traction on retail and consumer products. There what's happening is everyone is jumping into a new omni-channel world. So कुछ भी आप खरीदिए आज, you're okay to go to the store, you want to buy it on your mobile, and everything should be seamless. So that's what the consumer trend is, and we are in the middle of it. We built a platform called Equinox. जो Equinox allows any client to build their e-commerce capabilities. So उसमें huge benefit हमें दिख रहा है. So good traction. But in general, today at least, most sectors are doing well. So it's not that anyone is not doing well, but these are doing especially better.
Okay, and I've also seen आपकी बहुत prudent strategy रहती है जब acquisition की बात करें. You look at companies very closely, strategic fit होता है कि नहीं, and so on. इस वक्त at the juncture that you are in at and you are growing at the pace that you are, आपको लगता है इस वक्त कुछ portfolio addition, good companies that you would want to pick up, invest in, acquire?
No, absolutely. So acquisitions have worked really well for us. We've made several over the last 3 years or so, each of them integrating well. So we've done acquisitions in the SaaS area for ServiceNow, Salesforce. We've done acquisitions which have helped us in digital engineering. So all good areas of growth for us today. Looking ahead, we have an active pipeline of acquisitions. So today we look at several at any given time. And as you said, our approach is strategic fit hai nahi hai. Then is there a cultural fit? Because it's a people business. Hai. So is it going to work? Meaning are the people in that company and the people in Infosys काम कर सकेंगे साथ में? Will they be able to work together? And then we look at the financials, and then of course, is it going to be accretive to our shareholders or not? And once all that is done, of course, are they ready with doing the deal? So we think that will continue. We think we will get good traction with that, and we don't have a sort of a target कि इतने quarter में इतना करना है. It's more what is fitting and what is making sense.
कुछ है जो इस वक्त आप particularly देख रहे हैं in the area, if you can specify.
The areas are more again cloud जो बात कर रहे थे, so उसमें we'll do both in public cloud and private cloud. We will do more in SaaS. We are looking at some more in digital engineering, which is a very strong growth area. And then we're looking at a couple of geography places that we could, let's say further expand in. And one vertical which we think we can go faster. So we have a map जिसमें हम देख रहे हैं, and as we find something and if it all fits, then we will execute.
Okay, so there is a strategy in place. You are working on it, और आपको ज़रूरत है कुछ pockets जो आपने gaps बताए वो fill in करने के लिए. Okay, Metaverse, because वो एक अभी the new buzzword. My son has been telling me all about it, and I'm like, okay, so it's a $8 billion market at this point in time. I mean, who would have imagined what this world is, but the realities are in front of us. तो वहाँ पर company like yours, क्या opportunity है, कितना बड़ा area है that you see, as you've always been ahead on the digital piece, you understand that better. Metaverse की opportunity for you for your company कितनी बड़ी है?
So Metaverse, as you said, is a massive opportunity. And actually आपने जो बताया, your son probably knows more about this than most people because they are using it.
A disclaimer, he's just 8 years old.
Yeah,
so.
But he's, that generation, the next generation knows what is going on. So what we are doing, and Metaverse has got many things. So just one example, which is we do AR, VR, where, you visualize things in the Metaverse. There we've done work with clients, for example, in the pharmaceutical business, where they can go inside their lab and look at how to change things for formulations. We've done work for a manufacturing company. You can go on a shop floor and how do you visualize what are the changes to be made, how do you repair something, how do you improve something. The applications are just tremendous, and already we have projects.
That it gives you, yeah.
Cool. And what it allows the clients to do is do many of the tasks by not having to physically do all of it at the same time. So you can really expand what is possible. We have a very special lab. We built a platform, we call it internally the XR platform, where these clients can use it to build their metaverse capabilities. And we already have good client examples, which we are now seeing more and more interest. So clients are getting interested. So very strong outlook for Metaverse. We are fortunately with our platform already there, and hopefully we'll build on it.
Okay, so you're already there, and this is a world which is going to give you huge and big, massive opportunity for everyone actually.
Over time, very strong.
Okay, so वहाँ पर आप already है, which is great news. Hiring trends, and I think abhi, as we had first of course thought जैसे technology will take over everyone's job, on the contrary I think आप लोग ज़्यादा hire कर रहे हैं. एंड लोगों की और ज़रूरत है एंड स्किलिंग एट्सेट्रा इज़ कॉन्स्टेंट प्रोसेस. तो एट्रिशन रेट्स आर हाई, यू नो द डिमांड इज़ ह्यूज. कब तक आपको लगता है वो सेटल डाउन हो जाएगा, एंड हाउ आर यू सीइंग योर ओन hiring trends and the need that you will have to bring in, because उसका भी एक concern आपकी books पर पड़ेगा, because wage revision, more people are in demand, so you have to retain talent. So how do you work around those lines?
So that's a huge area that we are working on. Today what has happened is what we were discussing before, जो training की बात कर रहे थे, Infosys has the best training in my mind of any company. So what tends to happen is there are some companies which don't do any of this training, and when the growth is high they tend to recruit, and we've seen some of that impact. Now our approach is we are building more and more capability and capacity with recruiting more people. So this year we will recruit 55,000 college graduates around the world, 52,000 in India. That's a huge growth, and next financial year will be even more than that. Now all of those people will be trained and brought into our usage, our capability, work on our methodologies and be ready for clients. What we've seen today is, even with all of this that's going on in terms of demand, and especially Infosys employees demand outside, our client fulfillment has remained very good and very strong, and we've not had any difficulty. In fact, the example we were discussing, clients are coming to us and saying, can you please consolidate, which is a positive sign for us. We will continue to build that out. We've also done massive changes in compensation. We've rethought how do we engage with employees. You know, this is a new generation of employees as well. What do we do to engage with employees differently? How do we make sure their potential is fulfilled? What are their aspirations? My own sense is, as we've seen this quarter, we've seen some stabilization of the attrition, and my sense is with all of the measures we put in, over time it'll start to ease off, maybe in a few quarters down the line. However, the most critical thing is we are able to work with our clients and everything is working there, and we are recruiting in a large number so that we are constantly making sure future client needs are fulfilled.
Okay, so hiring is a parallel process. You think that is going to continue and grow. You will need people, of course, at the end of it, and of course उनको skill करना और तैयार करना for your clients' services. हमेशा एक question होता है, और shareholders के point of view से I think I would like to ask you, the investors who have lot of faith in your company, who are perhaps who have invested in your company, want to know, ये न्यू एज कंपनीज जो आ गई हैं आज, और टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत बड़ा एक एक टर्म है टू यूज़, एंड कहीं ना कहीं लोग कहते हैं ओल्ड एज, इन्फोसिस, विप्रो, TCS, दे आर दोज पुरानी टेक कंपनीज. द न्यू एज कंपनीज आर वेरी डिफरेंट, दे वर्क ऑन अ वेरी डिफरेंट scale, model, and so on and so forth. So the time is for these new companies, ये कहा जाता है और ये माना जाता है. तो ऐसे जो ट्रेडिशनल पुरानी IT सर्विसेज कंपनीज हैं उनका क्या होगा? There's always that question mark, there's always that concern. But आपने अभी बताया आप कैसे मूव कर रहे हैं with the changing times. That's one thing. But your own thoughts, आपकी अपनी view on these new age tech companies, how they are evolving, the unicorns that we are seeing coming through them, क्या view रखते हैं आप? Because they also are obviously big threat or competition, so to say.
No, these companies are very innovative companies. So the good thing in India, I find, is tremendous innovation in technology, which is good for everyone, good for the industry, good for the country, and good for all the consumers who are using these technologies. From my perspective, it's a good thing, because many of those innovations we will all learn what to do, and as we were just discussing, let's say the Metaverse example, or you look at the automation example or the cloud example, we are learning how these things are working and innovating for our clients. So all that innovation that's going on within the country with the new companies coming is always good. And what they will develop, at one stage, Infosys was also a startup many years ago, and it grew up today to becoming a very strong business doing well for clients, doing well for employees, doing well for shareholders. And these companies will also do that over time, because that's the nature of this innovation. Now the thing with innovation is, many times, let's say when Infosys started, there were maybe 1,000 new companies that started, and Infosys is here today after 40 years.
Yes.
So people have to see how things work. Maybe many will survive, maybe many will, many may not survive. Sure. But the innovation will definitely help. This campus here, or the way this has been built, it was not just done by chance. It was done very thoughtfully
by design, yes.
by the people who founded the company. And that's how the new founders that are starting new companies, if they have that same sort of a vision, they will also survive 40 years and become as successful, hopefully, as Infosys.
Okay, and I'm really hoping and wishing you good luck about the way you've transformed this company, brought it to a point where it is at this stage. अब अगला पड़ाव और टफ होगा, क्योंकि आपने एक्सपेक्टेशंस बहुत बढ़ा दी हैं. The way you've performed, I think you've overachieved from what one had imagined. The next step, as you said, आप अगले 5 साल आप एक स्ट्रैटेजी बनाएंगे. उसका सम इन सेंस में आपकी प्रायोरिटी क्या होगी, अपार्ट फ्रॉम द फैक्ट दैट आप कस्टमर क्लाइंट के साथ रहेंगे, विच इज़ इवन टुडे, द बिग नंबर्स और द बिग थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ वेयर यू वांट टू टेक द कंपनी, दैट्स समथिंग वी वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू.
No, absolutely. I think we've had a good 4 years, and things are in a very strong foundation. The future, if you were to look at it in a simple way, is really, first it's about the cloud. And everything we're going to do, we're going to transform this company again to a cloud company. And the second is about the people, which we talked about earlier. I want to make sure that all of the employees of Infosys have huge opportunities. We are working in every country in the world, that employees can work, learn, work on complex projects and constantly improve. And then the concept I mentioned before, I want to further deepen it, this one Infosys. That is the key, really. Technologies will come and go, but if we can keep the one Infosys ethos, we will become stronger and stronger in the future.
Okay, one Infosys, that's the key, and I think वही है जो results भी दे रहा है आज, जिस तरह से numbers आप दिखा रहे हैं. Wonderful. And finally, इस बार सरकार का focus अगर हम देखें budget में भी, and every time they talk, it's tech all the way. I'm sure आपकी भी conversations होती हैं from how they approach everything. So I think the demand is far more, both from the private side and the government side, and I think the universe is actually talking about tech. Opportunity के point of view से, and the way the government is now looking at this space, the expectation it has from companies like yours, क्या देखते हैं, कैसे define करेंगे, especially अगर budget की बात करें, the whole SEZ play that they talked about and so on. कैसे देखते हैं?
Government is extremely supportive. So we were fortunate. We've had discussions in Delhi. I was there a few weeks ago when the Prime Minister invited Infosys for the sessions. We had discussions with Piyush ji. We've had discussions with the Finance Minister. Their approach is very much to build a very future-oriented digital India. And it's working really well. All of the foundation blocks, the building blocks are in place, and whatever is needed, अगर आप SEZ की बात करें, they are thinking of how do we improve this, जो it has given such a great boost. अगर आप सोचे skilling की, there's a huge thinking जो Prime Minister जी की ऑफिस से आ रहा है, skilling में कैसे किया जाए. अगर आप सोचे on the budget is a tremendously positive budget, because उसमें आप देखें focus is on infrastructure. All kinds of infrastructure, there even the broadband infrastructure will improve over time in the country, because that gives a multiple benefit into the economy, which will be shown over time. So my sense is, whoever from the government that at least I've had the honor to interact, they're all very aligned to go and build a digital India and make sure that that's a showcase for the world, so that the world can leverage it and take benefit of it. यहाँ globally जो बात चीज़ चल रही है supply chain की, India is at the right time today, and the thinking is very clear in Delhi कि ऐसे हम align करवा लें. If all of that is executed well, and we will support in everything we can do, then we will be India as a digital India will be center of the world.
We will be leading that.
We will be absolutely part of that in making sure the future has all of that in it.
Okay, wonderful. Last question before I end. I know it's all very, very positive in terms of the demand situation, the way we are progressing as a country, the sector. But कोई ऐसी चीज़ें हैं या challenges हैं जो आप देखते हैं which one has to be cautious about. As a company, you are also keeping a closed watch. कुछ any headwinds that you see?
So from my side, there are really no headwinds. As you can see, maybe I'm fairly optimistic about most things in the future. The thing that we as a company, and I discuss this with our team, should always be careful about is to not become complacent.
Yes.
But keep that intensity and hunger. And it's the same, I think, country mein agar aap dekhein, there's that tremendous drive. If you look at the youth of the country, you look at the leadership of the country, that's the view, okay, we want to do something and create an impact. And so as long as we have that sort of an intensity, my view is we have a lot of possibilities for the future, and hopefully all of us can execute on that.
And a last point for the shareholders who are watching this, want to hear from you. They've invested in your company. उनको क्या message देना चाहेंगे?
First, a big thank you to all the shareholders. I think they've taken a tremendous trust in us, and we are extremely grateful. And we will continue, as we have done every quarter, to work diligently to make sure that the shareholders' needs and the needs of our clients and employees are fully met.
Okay, here you go. Thank you very much, Salil, हमसे बात करने के लिए, समय देने के लिए और campus पर invite करने के लिए.
Thank you very much for coming here, and actually it's a pleasure and a privilege for the first real in-person session to do it with you.
Thank you, my pleasure, sir. Thank you. All right.